Euro group stage predictions part 2. If you guys haven't seen part 1, it's already out on the channel. Go check that out. And if you want to see more videos covering the European Championships on DeadBall TV, make sure you hit subscribe. Today's video is going to be groups D, E, and F. We're going to start with group D. Same procedure as last time. Connor, why don't you give us your full group stage predictions for group D, and we will respond to that. Take us away.
This is it. Are you ready? You ready?
Yes.
'Cause I'm feeling pretty staunch about this.
Rip it.
Hard, huh?
I got France at 4. No, I got France at 1. I got Austria at 2, Netherlands 3, and Poland 4. Blitzkrieg.
Yes, sir.
Polish were not
Facts
prepared for it.
and logic.
Are you
I
serious?
absolutely agree.
Did
I
we
absolutely
sweep this?
agree. I agree.
Did we
Okay.
sweep this all across
No.
the board?
Technically, no. I had the Dutch and the Austrians tied with 4.
I did
Oh,
too.
a technicality.
I did too.
Fucking
I had them
technicality.
both blank. I
Yep.
knew instantly that France was going to be 1 and Poland was 4. My one note for Poland, and we could just move right on after this, is Lewandowski. I had Netherlands and Austria.
And it's not a big note.
It's not
There's
a big note.
There's a lot of footnotes behind that name right now.
There
Yes.
are a lot of footnotes behind that name. Yeah, look, Netherlands and Austria, I had them even. I could not figure it out, but I think I had to look back at my own philosophy regarding these things. I looked at just my philosophy regarding other European clubs and South American clubs and who's hot and what that means. And maybe I've just been watching a lot of baseball, but I'm looking at this as a team competition. And who plays more cohesively as a team, Netherlands or Austria? I think Netherlands gets up for Argentina. I think that's a fantastic team ball that they played. It was awesome, dirty, gritty. If they had won, I couldn't even have been, I mean, I would be angry, but it would be invalid and biased because of Argentina. I don't know if that's necessarily a given that Netherlands will be playing like that. They have massive amount of star power. They have a bunch of pluses, but Austria is, like several of these European underdogs, they're team ball personified. They're team ball personified, and right now, I believe it's looking like Alaba might make it back for the Euros, which is just a huge plus because not that he's like, he is a massive star, but I think his biggest plus that he gives his team is an anchor point. He's a cornerstone, not because of his ability, but because of the way that he wears that captain's armband. The man knows what he's doing. And on top of that, Austria, they've beaten Italy and Germany. Recent Germany. Not bad Germany. Recent Germany.
Correct.
Yeah, they're hot.
They are hot. They can win against big teams. They are 11-2-2 in their last 15 games.
Correct. 2 losses in 15. That's put some respect on Ralf Rangnick.
Oh, yeah. And it's not like they don't have ability either.
The entire Austrian team is in the Bundesliga.
Yeah.
I don't think people realize that. I forgot what team it was last time in part 1, which again, go check that out if you guys haven't seen it. I forgot what team we were talking about, and Jake made the point that like 75% of the players are playing in some obscure league. That is not the case with Austria. They got some ballers, man. They actually have a very good team. And it's a very mature team. And I think when we talk about who has the potential to go far at a tournament, it's very rare that a team full of kids does that. It's very, very rare. And they really only have one player who gets serious minutes that is 24 or younger in the starting 11. And that's Nicholas Seewald, who plays for RB Leipzig, which a lot of their players, again, Leipzig, Freiburg, teams like that. And I love that they've beaten good teams recently. Some of these teams, I was looking at them, I was back in 2019, the last time they had a good win. And Austria giving us some right off the bat. Rangnick, dude, I'm just saying, I feel like he got appointed. Man U fans, including Jake, clowned the man, said he was finished. Then he went to Austria and started chefing, dude. He started rebuilding the old wall for Vienna. And now they look prepared, man. They look ready for this Euro. I asked our audience, which if you want to participate in these audience polls, you need to follow us on Instagram, link in the description. I said, how far will Austria go at the Euros? Y'all respond to this. 34% of respondents said grouped. 49% said round of 16.
That's a common bull
15%
Yep.
said quarterfinals. It's the entire Mexican fan base right there. And 2% said the semifinals or better. Where do we think right now Austria probably go? And are you surprised by those results? 34% said grouped. I was offended, and I have zero Austrian blood.
That is indicative of zero ball knowledge.
There it is.
Have we curated an audience of zero ball knowledge people?
We have.
That is hilarious.
That should be applauded, honestly. But
yeah, frankly,
hey,
it's like it's impossible. It's harder to get every question wrong on a test than it is to get 100%. Right? that's what it is. We are the exception.
We are the enigma. Yeah,
we are.
I have them going through as a better third place team with 4 points. I think they'll have no problems getting out of the group stage. And I actually quite like their odds of possibly even winning a knockout as well.
Yeah, I do too. I've got them second because I think if they go up against the Netherlands, I think they're going to give them a game. I think they're going to give them a game.
That's a banger fixture.
That is a banger fixture.
Mm-hmm.
Jake, is there anything you don't like about Austria? We've been very positive to start this episode. Is there anything you look at and you're like, I don't like that, or that's a bit overrated? What you think?
Not really. I think that they kind of have a perfect story set, and their stage is kind of set where, I've made the analysis that like teams that fly under the radar are generally poised to do well in tournaments like this. And this is, like you said, Jack, an experienced team that, their whole starting 11 plays basically in the Bundesliga or better leagues, which can't be said about more than 50% of the teams at the Euros. 75%? Is that high? And so, yeah, I think that, they're going back to Connor's, baseball analogy, or maybe even, you could go to golf, I guess, if any of our viewers watch golf. This is a hot team, and it's kind of hard for a team to just like go ice cold instantly.
Yeah. Golf is a thinking man's game, so I don't know how many viewers we have that watch golf.
Well, if they think Austria is going to get grouped, then none.
That's a lot of people were saying grouped, man. I was like, that's kind of crazy. That might be some Premier League bias there, because I don't think they have any Austrians in the Prem. Not since Sabitzer flopped. Anyways, last thing I also want to say about Austria before since Menu killed, how many people have they killed? Then you go on trial.
Too many.
I mean, it's a serial killer. Eric Ten Hag, the bald fraud. Little fun fact: Austria in their last 10 games have also conceded the fewest goals of any team in this group. They conceded 7. France have conceded 10, Poland 8, and the Dutch 12. Ugh.
Yeah, the Dutch, man. I mean, you would think with Koeman at the helm and with their back 5 plan, I don't know if they're going to roll that out. And the players they have. I mean, they have the best back line on paper. Shit, do I say throughout the...
No.
It's
not
definitely
better than France.
Top 5 in the whole Euros.
Top 3, I would say. Yes. Yeah, I agree with you.
Top 5 is in the whole Euros on paper.
It's 3 to 5. It's in there. 3 to 5. I think England's is better. Not if Maguire plays in France. I mean, their back line is disgusting.
But yeah, they should not be leaking goals. Rarely.
But they do. And what if I told y'all? What if I told y'all the Dutch also have the most losses in the last 10 of any team in this group? They've lost 4 of their last 10 games.
Yeah.
Austria have lost 1. France have lost 2 to Germany both times. And Poland have 2. Everybody clowning Poland. They're coming in here on better form than the Dutch.
Dutch have lost to Croatia, Italy, France, and Germany. Yeah,
They can't.
literally
They
all the
can't
big
beat the
brothers.
big teams. They can't.
They
No.
can't beat the big teams. Now, won't matter for the group stage, but to jumpstart our individual discussion on the Netherlands, and then Connor, I want to hear what you think about them very quickly. I also asked the audience, how far will the Dutch go at the Euro? 27% said round of 16. 58%,
Oh
the
my.
most popular, said quarterfinals.
Oh,
13% said semifinal, and 2% said the final. That's I need to find out who that 2% was, because that is insane.
drop your in the comments. We're driving to your house.
Drop your and your location. We'll pull it up. Okay.
I just ordered a large what is it, a bulk order of clown noses. We're just gonna open it, honk
Yeah.
honk, throw it in your front door, and then drive off.
We gotta talk some sense into you.
That was wild to see. But Connor, what do you like about the Dutch, if anything?
What I like about the Dutch, I've got a lot of pluses here. They have star power. They have an all-star back three, and De Ligt being the weak point isn't really a weak point, because the only time he really plays well is when people around him play well, right? Where he's allowed to make some of those mistakes and his lack of speed can be compensated for. And with Ake and Van Dijk, I think you can 100% argue that he's just fine. He's just fine back there. Now, the fact that they concede so many goals doesn't make a lot of sense. Who does that come down to? Is it Koeman's game plan? Is it one of the players that is making just a massive amount of mistakes? But like, look at all of their players. They all play for big clubs. Gakpo, Depay, Weghorst, not so much, but used to be a Man United guy. Even Xavi Siemens. They've got Koopmeiners, Dumfries, Ake, Van Dijk, De Vrij, and Blind. Some of them are bigger stars than others, but they're all stars. They're all well-known names. Like, that is just crazy. My one big flaw for this team is that they're missing a true striker. If Depay decides to show out on the day, excellent dog player, right? Love him. But he's just inconsistent. It's inconsistent. He's like a Dutch Gabriel Jesus.
Yes. Yeah, actually, that's a great comparison.
Yeah.
Probably a better striker of the ball, worse passer than Jesus. Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah.
Bro, let me tell you something.
I'd actually argue
the pie is so frustrating. Sorry, Jake. What were you saying?
Oh no, go on.
No, that's all I had to say, is that if the Dutch are coming in here and they're saying, we're looking at Memphis Depay to carry us, you in big trouble.
You're in big trouble.
Big trouble. That's a massive weakness for this team, I agree.
Yeah, I'm looking at the squad, and you're right, Connor. I feel like all of these Dutch players play for big teams. I mean, what's not to like about having a Dutch player on your roster, I guess. Their midfield kind of begs some questions to me. I don't know if Frankie de Jong is going to be. I know he's listed in the preliminary squad right now, but Koeman's got to cut 4 guys. I think he named a 30-man squad, and he's got to cut 4. So,
dude, I didn't even name de Jong on this. That's embarrassing.
Well, he's been injured.
But dude, he's played 20 games this season, and to piggyback on Jake, he is their most important player, bar none. If he is in poor form or he gets clamped up, like, they were going at that man at the World Cup, and it was really affecting them. Like, Ecuador did such a good job. Senegal did a good job against Frankie de Jong. You take him out, bro, they're in trouble.
He is their only link between the back line and the I mean, truly, he's their missing cog piece, and if he misses a group game or misses 2, damn, the Netherlands eating 8.
I mean, they could. Their record says that is likely to happen.
Yeah. So
the attack is filthy, though. Like, Simmons, Frimpong, like, probably should be in team of the season in the Bundesliga. Gakpo, very disappointing, but
he's
flashes of brilliance.
We're seeing some improvement from him, which is scary.
Yeah.
And for the national team, he's always been good. for the national team. So there's talent here, man. My biggest negative is just I think the team's a little young. I think the goalkeepers are quite average. Sorry, Mark Flecken, ain't it for me. Verbugen with Brighton, hail to the no. And Coleman, he just ain't that guy, dude.
No.
They have a worse coach than they did before.
Yeah.
And a younger team. I don't know, man. I don't know. But the attack is disgusting. We'll see what happens. Should we talk? We got to talk about France, man, for just a little bit.
I've got a great transition with goalkeepers. The French have Areola. If anybody just watched that City game, you know that he's the best shot-stopping goalkeeper in the Prem. He is phenomenal. He saved at least 4 world-class shots. One of them, a Kevin De Bruyne screamer. The man dyed his hair blonde, and he said, straight up, I'm going Super Saiyan. He was in the locker room with jet black hair, and he powered up. He had a couple of sensu beans, and he ascended to Super Saiyan.
He said, I'm him.
He said, I'm him. And he is. The fact that the French have him is so aggravating.
Man, I keep saying it's probably the biggest loss Asian football has taken in a long time when that man picked France over the Philippines. I mean, they haven't recovered since. I mean, you could say the French got the last laugh for what happened in Indochina about 70 years ago.
Oh, my God.
Bro, the talent... can I just read y'all the French 11 that did not get called up? This is insane. Up top, Lacazette and Mateta from Crystal Palace. Moussa Diaby from Aston Villa and Elise as the wingers. Central midfielders, Guendouzi and Nkunku. Luca Digne at left back. Tobio at center back. Diassi from Chelsea, the other CB. Gusto from Chelsea, the right back. And Restes, the goalkeeper. I actually don't know who that is. But that team would still be challenging to get out of this group. This French team is insane. It's disgusting. And it's going to take a whole lot of something. Black magic, voodoo dolls, meteorites crashing into the stadium. You say Mate?
Yeah.
Oh,
we all know that's their kryptonite.
Right. Mate is what it takes to bring these guys down. They win in the Euro because nobody's sipping mate this entire time.
No, you know who is? Antoine Griezmann. Antoine Griezmann is sipping mate. So they're going to win.
So he scores an own goal?
No, like he's turned their kryptonite into their favor.
He is like half Argentine at this point.
He is, yeah. Him and DePaul are literally, it's like you hit copy and paste, but then like put it in italics, you know?
Dude, what if he's like about to shoot and then he has like a image flashes in his head and he's like, you know that meme that's always like, you know, like that stuff. And then he just sees like the Argentina kit and he accidentally turns towards his own goal and blasts a shot top corner past Mike Magnan. And they lose in the round of 16. and then he collapses unconscious on the pitch.
Damn.
He has an episode, a hallucinogenic episode. That might be the only way to take France down, man, because what if I told you Didier Deschamps, he's made it to the final of 4 of the 7 tournaments he's participated in.
Zidane is literally never getting control of that team. Zidane's like, I'll wait. And he's like, you gonna keep waiting.
You're gonna keep waiting, dude.
And is there an argument that is that on Deschamps? Or is that just because the France squad is so stacked?
You got to give them both. Because
gotta give them both.
I mean, we'll take it back to the World Cup final, you know? The tactics from Deschamps were incredible. He just somehow got outcoached marginally. For 30 minutes, he was outcoached by Scaloni. Barely.
Luck was on Argentina's side. Lady luck.
No.
Bro, he had 10 injuries to his starting 11 and he still made a final.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, there are other teams like, you know, one player goes down, you got the manager at the podium, he's like, yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. We don't have our full squad. France has never had their full squad. Like ever. and they won one of the last 2 World Cups. The only tournaments they haven't made the final in was the last round of Nations League, which did they really care? Probably not. Euro 2020, when they did get upset by the Swiss. That was insane. That was insane.
God bless
And
Switzerland.
World Cup 2014, they lose to Germany. I think it's the quarterfinals, around of 16, 1-0.
And
So they lost to the champions.
Germany's always been their kryptonite. Germany has always been their kryptonite.
Yes. So, I mean, you got to put respect in Deschamps. He's lost 26 games in 12 years. Let me say that again for the folks in the back. 26 losses in 12 years.
Sounds like a fraud to me.
He lost the Euros against Portugal, right?
Yes, 2016 final. Yeah.
Yeah.
A game that Portugal should not have won. Like that.
No, they shouldn't have. Shouldn't have happened.
He's the real deal. He's the real deal.
He is the real deal.
Was you find like a damning fact about Deschamps, Jake?
No, I just checked their friendlies. Just checked their friendlies before the Euros. Luxembourg and our Canadian boys.
You found out that Deschamps was partying with P. Diddy for several years.
Oh my gosh.
So I looked it up. It's actually England that's the favorite.
Which is just foolish.
They're
just foolish.
They're 2 for me, actually.
It's England and France.
England has the second best lineup with probably the best depth and the worst coach.
I think Southgate is just like, he's like a 4.5 out of 10. He's not a 2 out of 10. He's not like, this guy is a laughing stock, but yeah. Let's not talk about Southgate because we ain't got time for that. Anything we want to say about Poland before we take it to the next group?
What is there to say?
No, these guys are getting cooked.
Yeah.
No, they're getting cooked by all 3 teams.
Sucks, but yeah. Even with those 5,
that's Lewandowski's last tournament, probably.
Yeah.
That he's going to get cooked 3 times in a row.
Yeah. Yep. They've advanced from the group 1 time at their 4 previous Euro appearances. They have some really bad results recently, man. They lost to Moldova. They lost to Albania. Then they drew with Moldova. And they beat the Faroe Islands 2-0. Now, I think a lot of that was under Santos as the manager, who's been sacked, and they appointed Michael Probiers. I don't know who he is. I can't offer any scouting report on him. I think Benarek and Kivior as the CBs are pretty solid. So I think they'll be defensively annoying. I actually think they'll draw France on the last match day because I think France will have 6 already. And Poland will probably just park the bus. But I have them with 1 point. And I think that'd be a good Euro for them, quite frankly. This team is horrendous to watch, especially. Doesn't help Lewandowski had his lowest scoring season since 2014. He had 17 league goals.
I mean, he's 35. He's got that cane going on.
I know. It is.
He's tired. He's slow.
Do you think Poland takes 0, or do you guys think they get a draw or a win here?
I think they take 0.
I think they take 0.
Okay. Yeah, maybe the reason I think they'll draw France is because France never take 9 ever. They're like England. They just can't seem to get 9 in a group. So I just feel like Deschamps will not give a damn. He will wipe his ass with the final match after they have the first seed locked up, and they'll draw or something. But if he plays a full team, or France are going into that game with 4 points somehow, or a loss even, they're going to destroy Poland like they destroyed them at the World Cup. Like they annihilated them at the World Cup. And I expect to see that again. Okay, Group E, guys. This group, man, is tough. Tough. I would make my predictions for this. I've never had so little conviction in my entire life.
Yeah, completely agree.
I'll give y'all my predictions for this, and then y'all let me know what you think. In first place, I have Belgium with 7 points. In second, I have Ukraine with 5. And third, I have Romania with 2. And last, I have Slovakia with 1 point.
Wow.
Y'all got Ukraine last.
Yeah.
Damn, really?
Really?
Well, give me your group. Give me your group.
I think Slovakia and Romania were interchangeable. I really wanted to put Romania. I think I gotta put them third, maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
Slovakia and Romania. I think you see a lot of similarities in this group and Group F, in that the number one is pretty clear, pretty handily number one, and then it's such fine margins between the other 3 teams. Such fine margins. And I really couldn't find any discerning factors outside of personal opinion and maybe some bias, which I don't even have that much for the other teams. Ukraine, I just don't have a lot of faith in them. I think that they have other priorities. I don't know how good their team ball is going to be. The results looked very similar to the others. Same with fixture strength. Yeah, it just kind of felt like a crapshoot to me. Just kind of felt like a crapshoot.
I'm actually quite bullish on the Ukrainians.
Tell me why.
Because
Educate me.
I think because of their inability to play in their home country, that they've been playing away for basically what? Is it 2 years now?
Yeah.
2 years.
They've been basically playing
yeah.
away like all their games. That's kind of a understated advantage maybe over some of these other teams where it's like, they had to play at home to qualify.
That's a great point.
Yeah, that is a great
And
point.
so
really good
these
point.
guys, I feel, are very unfazed. And frankly, if Ukraine can't make it out of this group, I'm ripping every single Ukraine flag down that I see flying here in Texas. Because what the hell, guys? What the hell?
That would be. I'm gonna say Ukraine absolutely need to make it out of this group,
They have
because
to.
I'm looking at the other teams they're competing with, and I asked the audience. I said, "Who makes it out of Group B?" 29% said Romania, 23% said the Slovaks, 49% said Ukraine. So most of them are riding with the Ukrainians, and I have to say, given the personnel and also given their performance recently, I do back them. I think they've had a very, very difficult schedule in comparison to Slovakia and Romania. Romania, I was looking back at it, man, bro. They don't play good teams. Like, they do
No.
not play good teams. Slovakia, same thing. The Ukrainians, they had England and Italy in their qualifying group. I think it was hands down the most difficult Euro group. And, they got a couple of draws in there. They drew the English, they drew the Italians. They're kind of doing what they need to do. And I feel like having so many high pressure games recently against really good teams is going to prepare them well. On top of the point of them not even playing at home for 2 years, but they've been through the Euro elimination games twice now. They didn't make it last time, lost to Wales. This time around, they made it. So they've been in the fire multiple times. This time they got it done. They got a super feisty, ugly ass win against Sweden last Euro, literally the ugliest game of football maybe ever, where they won 2-1 in extra time. I feel like they're ready. I feel like they're better prepared. I don't think the lights are going to scare them. I think they got a little bit of the dog in them. Maybe not a ton, but a little of that dog in them. And I think that's going to be the difference maker. I think it's inches between Ukraine, Romania, and Slovakia. They're damn near the same team, honestly. Like, looking at it, it is insane how similar they are in terms of goals allowed, goals scored, their record in the last 10, their record against good teams. The only difference is Ukraine does it at a much higher frequency. Now, they don't win.
I'll swap to Ukraine. I really like Jake's point, and yeah, hearing that they had those big games. Yeah, I think you kind of have to go with them, huh? I'll switch my guys around.
When they're good, they're good. And when they're bad, they are terrible. I'm looking at the defense, man. It's pretty stacked, and yet they have 6 clean sheets in 3 years. I will say their attack is good as well. They have Artem Dovbyk at Girona. That dude might be in the team of the season for La Liga. 20 goals,
Yeah.
7 assists in 34 games for Girona.
That's insane.
And also the
Yeah.
other
He has a golden boot for La Liga, right? Right, he got awarded that. I'm pretty sure he's the
Makes
top
sense.
scorer this season.
Yeah, I think Bellingham was chasing him, but I don't think he got it. So that's
Watch.
great. They have players, but the middle's a little weak, and they just I don't know. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on for this team. I feel like rightfully so, they kind of drop off sometimes. So I don't really know what to say about them other than I'm pretty bullish. I think they will go through, but then they'll probably lose their first knockout game. Is kind of how I see it going.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Slovakia. I'm trying to think if I have anything I have to say about these guys. They do not have a lot of firepower,
No.
like at all. Robert Mal is their top goal scorer, 16 goals in 81 games. They are pretty seasoned. It's not a lot of young guys in this team. That's kind of good, but I mean, bro, they've lost to Azerbaijan recently. They've lost to Kazakhstan recently. They've scored more than 2 goals 3 times in the last 4 years.
That's a crazy stat.
Malta, Liechtenstein, Iceland. Those teams ain't here. So I just see problems, man. I just see problems.
Yeah, and Calzona splitting duty between club and international. I feel that's hard for any guy to do.
That usually doesn't work, does it?
And he's not managing like some City B team. He's managing fucking Napoli. You know, like that's
yeah. Yeah.
coming off of winning the league. And so I don't know. I mean, like,
well, they were terrible.
I'm not really sure what the history is behind that. If he was like contractually obligated prior to signing for Napoli to follow through with Slovakia, but I have a feeling he doesn't care. Why would he care?
About Slovakia or about Napoli?
About Slovakia.
Dude, he's got to care. You got to sack that man right now if you don't care.
Care for sure, but like deep down in his heart of hearts, as Connor would say, does he truly care about this little Eastern European team over his Italian club?
Is he Italian ethnically?
I mean, his last name's basically Calzone, so I would damn hope so.
Yeah, I mean that ain't a Slovak last name.
No.
All right, when do y'all think the last time Slovakia beat a top 40 ranked FIFA team was?
The last time Slovakia
3 years?
Pretty close. 4. 4 years ago, they beat the mighty Poland 2-1 in the group stage at the Euro.
Wow.
That's kind of that's what I'm saying, man. That you look back, there's not a lot there. There's not a lot. This group is going to be amazing because these guys are so evenly matched. Like Slovakia could have like 2 moments of magic and take 6 from this group and knock off Romania and Ukraine. It's so close. They got a good spine of players too. Skriniar, Lobotka, all in Serie A. They got some guy at Hellas Verona. That's Duda. But I just got a little Duda that they're gonna advance. You know what I'm saying?
Habla Dula.
In Romania, same thing, dude. Romania, same thing. They've beaten Switzerland since 2020. In the last 4 years, it's the best team they've beaten. They just don't do it very often.
Maybe the best thing for Ukraine is to get 3rd place here and then advance from there.
To play a first-seeded team?
I guess no matter what, you want 2, huh?
Yeah, you want to. If they play a 1 seed, they're going to lose.
It depends on the 1 seed. I would say if they met Belgium. But
if they met
their own group, yeah. But
yeah,
they share the group, so oh man, yeah, it's just hard to call. I had a working catering shift that I was driving 45 minutes to and from yesterday, and I was just thinking the whole time, trying to take some notes, and I just could not come to a reasonable conclusion. for these guys. But I think you're right. That's going to lead to a very interesting group, and those are going to be some good games. What sucks is that they're probably going to be some of the least watched games.
Correct.
But I think it's going to be some interesting stuff.
Yeah, these are not very big nations. To speak on Romania quickly, because they're a very interesting case. I'm starting to see a little bit of hype for them online. I need to know, and I have no idea. I don't know what the answer to this is. We're going to find out if they're actually good or if they're just in really good form. Because if you look at this run of, 15 games with one loss or whatever it is, they're playing horrendous teams.
Yeah.
And I know the final score against Colombia was 3-2, but they scored 2 late goals. Colombia, with a rotated squad, murdered them. I mean, murdered them. So, actually, honestly, before the Colombia game, I was pretty bullish on the Romanians. I've since cooled off dramatically. Man, there's just some warning signs here, dude. Montenegro did the double on them in the Nations League. Beat them 5-0 on AG. That's not good.
No, it's not. Not in the slightest.
Greece. We beat them 1-0, and we're terrible.
My
Bosnia.
brethren.
Bosnia, who are literally a finished national team, also beat them 1-0. They got some terrible, terrible losses on the record recently, and I just wonder, is that the true Romania? Is it losing to Montenegro twice? Or is the real Romania, beating up Iceland and Liechtenstein and all these other smaller?
Yeah.
Can they play with the big boys? We don't know yet.
We don't.
And they don't really have a star, man. It's probably Dragusin because he plays for Spurs. It's the most notable player by a mile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say Dennis Mann, he looked at Palermo, 17 goal involvements this season. Looks like he's pretty good. 9 goal involvements in 20 games for the national team. That ain't bad. And I will say the Romanians, they got 2 bruisers up top. Alibec and Puskas. The wrong Puskas, unfortunately.
Yeah.
2 guys, 6'2", 6'3". Just watch out on set pieces. They could get something ugly. So this group is fascinating.
I know they got some tall, strapping lad from Transylvania that is itching to be called up to the national team right now.
Well, he's going to have to keep itching because I don't know if he's going to make it this time around. Insane fact. How many wins do you guys think Romania has in the history of the Euros? This will be their 6th Euro. How many wins do they have all time at this competition?
2.
You think in 5 Euros they have 2 wins?
He's sticking with guns.
They have 1. They have 1 win in 16 games at the Euro.
Man, thank God Jake stuck to his guns because I have 0 ball knowledge. That's insane. That is insane.
I tried to throw him off. I really was like, you going to
2.
disrespect him like that? But actually, you were gassing him up. You were flattering them. 1 win in the history of the Euro.
And when was that?
Probably 1982. I don't know.
Oh, you didn't have it? Well, they had some beast back in the 80s. I was trying to look who it was.
That's probably when they won the game then.
George Haji? God, my ball knowledge is 0. I used to know these Eastern European juggernauts like the back of my hand.
You fell off.
Yeah.
Much like Bosnia. R.I.P.
Oh, rest in
R.I.P.
peace.
in the chat.
Yeah, Romania left.
Edin Dzeko, my boy.
They're so finished, though. Okay. We should talk about Belgium very quickly before we move on. Jake, what are your thoughts on this Belgian side?
If they get past the round of 16, that would be an accomplishment. Is that too harsh?
No.
Quarterfinals, successful Euro? Let us know in the comments.
Quarterfinals would be their championship, their Super Bowl.
I think semis would be their Super Bowl. That'd be like, whoa.
Yeah,
That's impressive.
which is indicative of exactly what we said, quarters.
I will say what's going for them is their manager. Tedesco's obviously very good as he proved with the was it Leipzig? Leipzig, right?
Oh, was it Hoffenheim? Oh,
Pretty
ball
sure.
knowledge. Jesus.
It was
Yes.
Leipzig. It was Leipzig. God,
Okay.
I'm a genius. So yeah, way better than the fraud they had before. Let's just say that.
Oh, it was Hoffenheim U19s? Ah.
Yeah, I just think.
That was 2016. Okay.
Yeah. I don't really have much to say about this Belgian side. I have never. Their golden generation has passed them. I think they're still kind of a toughish squad to play, but I personally never really rate them that highly. I think they're always beatable. And they don't seem very clinical up top, which is surprising. Surprising to me.
I mean, they have good players. They have really good players. It's just worse than what they've had before. And if they couldn't do it before, it's just hard for me to say they're going to do it now. That's the biggest problem for me. But like, make no mistake, I mean, the right side of their field is going to be Doku, Jeremy Doku from City, and Openda from Leipzig. That's like peak tech right there on the right side of the field. Like, that's going to be disgusting. Or it might be the left side. I might have that backwards, but that's a lot of firepower. I just seriously question the defense. Seriously.
Yeah.
And I mean, is it the Lukaku show still up top?
I think it's gonna be, and I think we've seen better versions of Lukaku do worse. So I really can't buy on it. It's gonna be the Jeremy Doku, Kevin De Bruyne show. Kevin De Bruyne doesn't have the lungs to do this. He may get injured, which would suck. And it's just gonna be tough. It's gonna be really, really, really tough for them.
Extremely. And then back line, bro. If Jan Vertonghen is still getting minutes, I don't know if he will. He's 37 years old. Like, that's...
No, it's time. It's time to hang him up, big dog.
It's time to hang. And Wout Faes from Leicester is horrendous. He's a terrible player. If he starts... Yeah, they lose in that first knockout. Very last point about this group. Belgium have not made it past the quarterfinals of a Euro since 1980. I just thought that was insane.
Well, they ain't going to do it this year.
Nope. 2016, lost to Wales. 2020, lost to Italy. That was our golden generation.
Wales.
And I'm okay ending on that hater-ass note.
Hater-ass note. Let's take it to Group F. Jake, I think we need your predictions to kick us off.
Portugal, top. I think there's no argument there. This is when it gets tricky.
It's a little tricky after that. Yeah, it's a little tricky.
Jack, Jack, scroll the thing up so we can see the teams.
Yeah. I went Czechia, Czech Republic, for second. Turkey for third. Georgia fourth. The synopsis of my analysis for Group F is mainly just based on experience.
Wait. You got Turkey third.
Turkey third. I got the Czech boys up on top of them.
Give me the points total. How many the Czechs taking? How many the Turks taking? Because this is gonna get hot in the comments. I'm just telling you.
You think?
I think the Turks gonna be pissed that you got them third.
I mean, I was pretty bullish on them in 2020, and look how that turned out.
we know how that story ended.
Yeah.
Literally the worst team at the tournament.
Yeah.
Substantially the worst team at the tournament. That was horrendous. No, I got them third too. I got them with 1 point.
Okay, I had them winning one. I had them beating Georgia.
I think they'll draw. That's their first game. I think they will draw.
I'm not shocked that you said that. I knew you were gonna have some wild ass take about the Turks. I didn't know if it was gonna be like they're incredible or they're going to leave with one, but I knew you were going to say something like that.
Bro, the
They
Ottomans
should be
they're
good.
not back.
They
They are
should
not
be
back.
good.
They should be good. They should be good. They should be
Correct.
competitive at the very least. And I do have them
Correct.
beating Georgia, but that's it. Sorry to my boy Kvaratskhelia.
I think that's totally fair to say. If anybody has Georgia making out of the group, that's pretty insane.
I mean, there is something that you don't know, or there's something that we don't know if you have Georgia making the group. I mean, that's crazy.
That's crazy. They're also the
Kvaratskhelia.
lowest FIFA ranked team here, 75.
Yeah.
And this is their first Euro, so it's just kind of tough to put any cards in that stock.
Well, first off, I also want to wrap up with the standings. I think Portugal win all 3 games. I think they take 9.
Yeah, I think they do too. As long as Ronaldo stays off the field.
Okay.
Even with him, I think the pressure really starts for both Roberto Martinez and Portugal when the knockouts start. I think they're kind of group stage merchants a little bit. I think they'll be fine in this stage. And if they can't beat Turkey and Georgia, I mean, Japan's B team put 4 past Turkey. If Portugal can't beat them, that's like, and Austria just put 6 past them last window.
Yeah.
So if Portugal can't beat that, Mr. High-flying, high-octane Portuguese offense can't beat that Turkish back line, I don't know what to say, mate. They're out in the round of 16. And I got the Czechs with 6. I think the Czechs will beat Turkey. I just think the Czechs, man, they're just solid, bro. They're just mad solid.
They are.
Totally out of the radar. No expectations. Not really any high-profile players. Patrick Schick and Thomas Suchek, that's it. And I think the Turks have a very unique situation where, because of the size of the country, because of the fact that they're very culturally isolated in Europe, and the popularity of the domestic league, they have insane expectations every single time. Like, there's no Turk online who's like, well, if Turkey get 3 points and we put up a good show, like, I'm happy. No, like, they want to make the quarters. They want to make the semis. That's the objective for Turkey. It's not found or bound to reality, but I think that's the scenario for them. And it literally broke the team at Euro 2020. Everyone's saying dark horse. Nobody's saying that now outside of Turkey, but I guarantee you the noise is still there inside the country. It's a lot of noise. It's a marching band over there. So I think it will get to them. And I think the Georgians have enough to put in like one annoying ass display against the Turks and maybe get a 1-1 draw, something like that. What team do you guys want to talk about first?
I feel like we've covered Turkey.
We could talk Portugal.
We could talk Portugal.
Even though you already kind of said it. Well, go ahead.
I want to play a quick game here because I feel like this is what we're going to see in the comments about Turkey. This is the bull case, right? I don't really believe this, but this is the bull case. People are going to say that they're playing at home because Turks are the largest ethnic minority in Germany. So they're going to say we're playing at home.
No.
They beat the Czech Republic in a friendly 2 years ago. So that's going to be a data point for why they're going to beat them now. And Georgia are bad. So therefore, there will be people clamoring for the Turks taking 6 or more in this group. Any response to that, gentlemen?
2 years ago is far too long. I try and keep my running form arguments, especially for European teams, 10 to 15 games maximum, and even 15 starts to get into 2 years back. I don't buy that that's a valid sample size. I think that's expired.
Yeah, this Turkish team, man. I mean, it's a weird blend of experienced domestic guys with some younger starlets. You know, I wouldn't call them full-blown out stars yet.
Arda Güler, specifically?
Yeah, he's a starlet. And then they've got a few guys in the Bundesliga, you know, that are doing their thing, which is great, and a few in Serie A. But every time that I've seen them play recently, they do not play with any sort of identity, you know, in the sense. they almost and you said it kind of in an interesting way, Jack, that they are culturally isolated. I feel like their football resembles that as well. They play like an Asian team, but they need to be playing like a European team.
I think they try to play like that sometimes, but they just don't have the personnel. And I totally agree. The team does kind of lack identity, and like things just don't add up with the Turks, and they really never do. Like I would love for Turkey to be like a top 8 team in Europe. That'd be super exciting, but it just isn't the case. Like first off, this team has no center forward anymore. So
No.
Yilmaz is no longer playing. So that means Enes Unyal is probably going to be the starting center forward. He's got 3 goals for the national team. Like I just don't see that getting you goals at this tournament. The Portuguese not going to let that guy score. Maybe the Georgians leak 1, and then the Czechs, they're physical, man. They're physical. And I've always felt like Turkey are just very emotional. Like they seem to be rattled, like more than other national teams. It's like if a game starts going against them, I don't see them turn the tide very often. If they come out blazing from the start, they're very difficult to beat. But if you put them on the back foot, it's like they overthink it. I don't know what that is. Like you could theory craft on that all you want for why the Turks seem to kind of self-implode. It's very similar to like Iran, in my opinion, in that regard. And I think, man, at the Euro, if you're not mentally tough, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose. The Georgians, they know they don't have the talent that the Turks have, but they have unity. And I think they're playing with house money. I don't think the Turks are playing with house money. I don't think their fans let them do that.
No, they don't.
Right, and look at these center backs are crazy. Bardacci at Galatasaray, Kabak, Demiral, and Soyuncu. Those are 4 like stud CBs, and yet their defense isn't good. That's what I'm talking about. I'm like, this team doesn't make sense. So I don't know. They're such a wild card. Could they make the knockout? Could they upset the Czechs? Yes, I think they could, but I can't see them winning a knockout game. Do y'all?
No.
Okay. Any closing thoughts about Turkey?
I want them to be good.
They will not reach a knockout game with their jerseys. I'll put it that way.
Maybe if they wear the white one for all 3 games, they'll be okay. They'll get the dub against Georgia. But otherwise, man, if the Georgians wear that black kit,
it's not happening.
Turkey wears that red, it's not happening. It's not happening. I asked our audience, will Turkey flop again at the Euro? And 68% said yes.
Wow.
Okay. So we do have some ball knowledge.
It's either that or we're totally wrong and Turkey's going all the way.
2008 all over again? That's the only time they made it out of the group. One time, 2008. Wow. They made the semifinals.
And they went far, right? Semis, yeah.
Semis, yeah. I think they lost Germany beat them, I think. Yeah.
Not a bad team to lose to.
Nah, but they were good. Like 2000 to 2008 Turkey were pretty good, man.
Yeah.
Semifinal at the World Cup, semifinal at the Euro. Like they were the real deal. And I just feel like they haven't gotten back there since. So, speaking of teams that sometimes run very hot and cold, we should talk about Portugal. This will be their 9th Euro. They've never been grouped at the Euro, which I thought was pretty crazy. Like they've never had just like a terrible stinker campaign and gone out early. That's pretty hard.
That is pretty hard. That goes hard.
You respect the Portuguese more hearing that, Jake? You can give the Iberians their due?
I respect Portugal more than Spain.
Jack's crazy so mad.
That's crazy because Spain have second or third
more titles to their name. Yeah.
Yes.
No, I just said that just to piss you off.
I'm bulletproof at this point. I've gone numb. I can't wait to get that new Spain kid and rock up here and all these Euro recaps.
And I'm going to be like, I'd like a Big Mac and a large fries.
But
Yeah.
when Spain beat that Croat ass, dude, it's just gonna be a beautiful
Oh,
moment, dude.
Lord.
It's going to be a beautiful moment, dude. I'm gonna be smoking that Croat pack.
Ah.
You hear me? I'm gonna get that shit fat, dude. That's
Honestly,
gonna
we
be
got to do a live
crazy, man.
stream. We got to do a live stream.
We have to do a live stream for that
We
game.
have to.
Absolutely. Hit subscribe. No, but for real, to jog the discussion about Portugal, I asked the audience, which of these teams is the first to be eliminated at the Euros? I asked them Germany, France, Portugal, Spain. 18% said Germany. 3% said France. It's barely anybody. 36% said Spain. And 42%, the most popular answer was Portugal. How do we feel about that? Like, let's just keep it to Portugal largely, but
I feel
that's
like
surprising. Do you agree?
I feel like that's pretty accurate because the tenure that Portugal have going forward, it's not exactly sterling. You know, they have glaring weaknesses. There seems to be division in the team, and you don't really know how that's going to manifest. Definitely not going to, excuse me, definitely not going to manifest in a positive way. You don't know what that looks like. You don't know what it's capable of. I feel like back in Ronaldo's absolute heyday, the team was playing for him when they won that Euros. Him on the sidelines.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think they get up for him like that anymore, you know? It's like Argentina is the cult of Lionel Messi, and they play better for him and in spite of him when he's not playing. I don't think that Ronaldo carries that weight in the Portuguese team anymore, you know?
I agree. They've
Yeah,
also won two
it's a fair
two
argument.
titles with him. They have a Nations League
Yeah.
and a Euro, so I feel like, and he's not
It's kind of
He's done his
quite
part.
as. Yeah, I think so. I think they're a little ready for the chapter to be closed, even though I think he should. Not to go on a tangent about Ronaldo, but he is balling out this season in the Saudi league. It's kind of tough
they
to
still
leave him
lost.
out. Yeah,
No,
yeah.
you don't leave him out. You don't leave him out. I think he's a 30-minute super sub. First or last, it doesn't matter.
Yep, you cannot start him.
No.
I see him playing the same role that Mueller should play for Germany.
Okay. Yeah. That's a great shout. I like
You
that.
need him on the squad. You need him on the squad. You know, he sees maybe a half, like a full half, if you want to switch some things up in a game, you know, turn it on its head, but should not be starting, in my opinion.
I can agree
Where
with
would
that.
you guys put Portugal in the favorites for the Euro? What position do they go in?
They're pretty low.
Okay, so
I'd
like
say-
sixth, lower.
6th, 7th.
No. I can't go that low for them. Their squad
Seventh is
is
low.
still really stacked. But I would put them 4th or 6th, which, you know, averages out to 5th. So I'll stick with 5.
Okay. See, the thing with Portugal is that while star-studded their lineup is, it's kind of the Gareth Southgate issue. They ain't got no tactics, I feel like.
Yeah.
It's just like we're just going to overpower you with our individual talents instead of working as a team to overpower you.
Yeah, it's
And I feel
it's
that
a
can
little
only
bit
take
of
you so
hero
far.
ball.
Feels like it. I like that. That's a good shout.
I don't know what the biggest negative with this team is other than like themselves. This is one of those teams where it's like, how do you beat Portugal? It's like they kind of just gotta be off it. You know what I'm saying? Like, just not show up. Maybe Martinez doesn't tactically adjust after going behind. They get frustrated. I don't think a team in this group can do that though. Maybe the Czechs. The Czechs could hold them to a draw. I think they're good enough to do that and annoying enough to do that. But the Turks and the Georgians, man, no way. Like, with all due respect, no way. I don't see it.
Yeah, I could see a quarterfinal exit for the Portuguese.
Yeah, I think that seems about right to me as well.
Agreed.
And depending on who knocked them out in the quarters, that could be a massive dub or... No, not massive dub. That could be mission accomplished or disaster. I think only semifinal would be massive dub or the final.
Semifinal for Portugal would be a huge dub, I feel like.
That'd be huge. That's huge. Yeah. Spain, Iberia. Spain, Portugal semifinal. I'm here for it. I'm here for that.
No chance in shit can they meet up. Can they?
No, I don't think till the final. But I'm not 100% sure.
All right, who's next?
Final team we got is Czech Republic.
Czech Republic. These guys, this was another one that just threw me off, man. This was another one that just threw me off.
What threw you off?
It just looks really familiar. You know, they've got some good wins. They've got some strange losses. You feel like they're shaping up to be like an Albania sort of team, but then you look and you see that they lost Albania 3-0. You know, so like it's tough to really put it together. They're, again, just a really solid team. They're a solid team. And I think that's kind of why I have them going out of the group. Like I want to see
going
that.
out of the group.
Oh,
I have them going.
you got them going out?
Oh no, sorry. Moving up. Sorry. That was a really poor way to
Okay,
phrase that.
okay.
That's why I had them advancing at second, because there's not enough in this team to say that they challenge superstars in Portugal or even advance out of the next round. But I do think that they are solid. They're an all-around team. Pretty darn good.
Mm-hmm.
I think the squad is dependable enough to win against Georgia and Turkey.
Yeah.
And lose against. I mean, I would poop my pants if they beat Portugal.
Yeah.
Like, that would be a massive L for Portugal.
Massive L, I agree. But they knocked out the Dutch in the round of 16. Or not the Dutch, was it the Dutch or Belgium? They beat 2-0 in the round of 16. It was like a what the hell result from the last Euro. Like, they got in their bag. That's what I'm trying to say. It might not happen again, but they've done it before, and they've done it recently, which
They have some history. I would like to quote Connor, though, and say that was 4 years ago. You know, results
Correct.
4 years ago. 2 years, kind of the expiration date for these kind of tournaments. But yeah, I mean, they've proven that they can beat people's expectations.
On aggregate, is this the weakest pot 2, 3, and 4 of any group?
Yeah. I might even argue it's the weakest group overall.
It's pretty weak, man.
It is pretty weak. And you know whose fault I think that is? I think it's Turkey's. If Turkey had a little bit more consistency, which I wish they did have, I would love for Turkey to make a run. I would love for Turkey to make a run. They're a team that I want to like. That being said, it's tough. It's tough.
It is, man. Like, I'm telling y'all right now, if Albania was in this group instead of Georgia, they're going through. They're going through. They're going to go through with 4 or 5. Like, but instead they got Croatia, Italy, and Spain. Like, or Scotland. If Scotland was in this group, I'd be feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't rate this group. I'm the least excited about this one, and it's not even close.
Yeah, it'll be tough to have any form of excitement for me personally watching these group games.
Yes. I think most hype one for me is probably Georgia Turkey, and that's just because I'm a history nerd and I just want to see that. It's not even a footballing argument. It's just more geopolitically and historically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Other than that, I don't know. We're probably not doing live streams for these games.
No. No, I don't think so. Unless the Turkish fan base wants us to sway our opinion. I'd be willing to watch Turkey, Georgia. I'm interested in that. I like Georgia. Used to work with a Georgian guy. Got great food, great culture.
Great dumplings.
Great dumplings.
You sure he wasn't from Marietta, Georgia?
You one's from Savannah?
He was a big Trey Young guy.
Yeah.
Sure, he went from Peachtree in the A.
Old
Come on.
Peachtree.
Little Peachtree.
That makes me
Nah,
cobbler.
dude, I almost said peach cobbler because we've been recording for a while, and I think we go ahead and end the episode there, ladies
we
and
gotta.
gentlemen. And we hope you enjoyed. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed, and like I said, we're going to be doing Euro content on the channel. We'll do as many live streams as we can, but it's mostly going to be match reactions, predictions, round of 16 knockouts, stuff like that. So if you don't want to miss that, again, hit subscribe. And if you want to participate in the next DeadBall TV video, if you want to jump into these polls or submit an answer to any of our user questions, make sure you're following us on Instagram. You can find the link in the description of this video. And lastly, give the podcast a 5-star rating for listening on streaming platforms. We'll see y'all in the next one.